I think I have a little bit of a hypothesis. I think I've got a little bit of an idea as to why. Holy shit! There's a lot of traffic. As to why I feel like the explanation of people's training is now so very important and fucking highlighted. And I think it's because, I mean, especially when people are posting stuff online, there's a pretty big kind of, I almost want to say, just motivating factor to be like very immediately accepted. You know, like I'm not doing anything weird. I'm doing a dumbbell curl because it's scientifically supported that this is the absolute perfect way to do it. Dude, don't sweat it. I mean, train hard, train reasonably smart. And I can't stress enough, all sorts of little minute improvements to your training will just begin to fucking kind of accumulate as you get just more experienced and smarter, right? Don't be don't get caught too much in, I mean, I'm not sure how often this really happens, but don't get in a massive fucking argument. Definitely don't get into an argument in like a Instagram comment section, unless you unless you're seeing somebody do something really stupid. But then, honestly, more likely than not, they're probably just rage baiting you. But you know what? Did spending 20 minutes going back and forth with that guy on Instagram about how the tricep push down with a rope is the shittiest movement ever and how you have to use the V bar? I mean, come on. Come on, guys. Let's be real. And I kind of feel like it's kind of weird. Like the conversations that I see in comment sections on like anything fitness related are so like drastically different than the actual conversations that I have with people who are like very legit lifters, like very you know, reasonably experienced and well endowed with results to the point where I know that this guy works out for real and he doesn't have to tell me. He doesn't have to explain to me his training style. Clearly what he's doing is working, right? And why I'm a little bit more concerned with trying to like back away from making sure that everything that you do working out wise is like generally accepted. Damn, poor Camry, smashed to bits over there. But why I say it might not actually even be in your best interest, gains wise, to do things which everybody like has come to the conclusion like, oh yeah, this is actually the best way to do it, and you shouldn't do it like that. Now with some things, I would say that's probably true. Diet, there's no getting around calories in, calories out. Hit your protein, get your carbs in evenly throughout the day. Basic shit like that. And obviously with your training intensity, train hard. I think we all kind of agree there. So with the basic overarching kind of concepts of working out, there is pretty much a method, which by following, you're probably going to get better results. Like go hard, eat hard, sleep hard, and then drink hard. Not in a frat guy style. I'm talking lifter gallon jug with electrolytes. And then minute details outside of that can kind of be sort of tailored to your own needs. Just like sort of one classic thing I'll hear. It's like I'll see videos of someone like critiquing someone else's squat form, and this could be a little bit like different if you're actually talking to a beginner. But let's say somebody's kind of been lifting for a while. They obviously know what feels good for their own body and their own like, muscular insertions and their biomechanics of everything. And the guy would be like, no, you gotta squat with your shoulders, with your heels, shoulders apart, and stick your toes way out, point your toes way out. And it's like, dude, how do you know? Did you do a fucking, did you do a full in-body like CAT scan, and you can actually look at the biomechanics of this guy's knees? Like, did you put him in like a green screen suit with little ping pong balls all over him and do like a 3D analysis of this guy's fucking of this guy's build and his the way his body moves and relates to each other, and like his limb length and everything else like that. Like, no, man. But that's where it's the responsibility of the lifter himself to actually try to kind of approach a level of training and like a style of training which actually gives him results. That's one thing that's kind of cool about working out is there's no getting around it. There's no faking it, right? You either have worked out for a while and you're making gains, or you're not. So all fancy pants training, workout splits, rep schemes aside, if you're not making any gains, then obviously whatever you're doing is not working. And whenever I hear anybody have a plateau, or even when I look at myself, like I'm sure down the line on this bulk, I'm gonna have trouble getting all the food down. I have to look at myself and my own routine and like how hard I'm going and how diligent I am with all the stuff I'm doing. And I've got to say, like, okay, am I actually eating enough food? Am I skipping meals? Am I not drinking enough? Am I not actually training hard enough? Am I going easy? There's all sorts of things that you can look at. And as long as you're not lying to yourself, as long as you're not fooling yourself, you should be able to actually say, like, okay, yeah, well, I guess I can't really remember the last time I trained legs. Was it, or like, yeah, I don't know. I tracked my macros one day just to try it. It said I got 40 grams of protein, and that's about normal for me. Uh, you know, like if you actually kind of watch yourself a bit more closely than just looking at yourself, from the first person very passively, odds are anything that's out of whack in your whole routine relative to your results should be at least slightly glaring. I'm talking you're on top of one of the towers in Verdansk. You're doing a scan. Oh, right there, glint. Right, something like that. So it's not super noticeable, but little subtle things. If you can notice them, I mean, that could save you from getting sent back to the fucking gulag. So that's all I got to say there. But in terms of chest today, I know for a fact I'm going to do a lot of hammer strength flat press, which I have been. You'll see when I do the machine. But this is the fucking best hammer strength machine I've ever used. And you know what's crazy? I've been coming to this gym for years, and I never did this machine because in my mind I'm always like, okay, well I should do a lot of incline work. Don't write off a machine which actually feels fucking badass just for no reason. So I think that's gonna, not even I think, I pretty much know that that's gonna be the starting movement, and then I'll just go from there. Maybe move on to a different machine press, maybe do some cables, maybe do some pec deck, or, I mean, fuck, it is not out of the realm of possibility that I just get on that machine press and just do like 7 or 6 whatever sets right there with varying amounts of weights, maybe do like a pause, some like tempo reps on a set, like change it up a little. But if I had nothing else, I'd have no problem doing a chest day with only this machine. And as long as it feels good, I don't mind it, man. I day by day, lift by lift specialization, I'm fucking cool with it. I've had arm days where it's all just fucking tricep pushdowns, dumbbell curls. Nothing fancy, no nothing. Just like 8, 9 straight sets of each of those on their own. And then my triceps, my fucking biceps were wrecked. So with simple muscles, I mean, I'd say that like, simple, but with muscles where you can basically, they only serve like one overarching kind of function. I mean, your bicep is pretty much just doing this. That's pretty much it. Your tricep is just doing this. That's basically pretty much it. Your chest is going from here to here. Even when you do a cable fly, that's still the same thing. It's just a little bit funkier. So with things like that, as long as you're hitting that primary like movement path, and it's a good machine where you're actually doing quality work, I'm fine with doing just one machine one day. Now, I would not want to just like do this chest press only for the rest of my fucking life. But for some lifts, if it feels good, I think just fucking pump them out, man. Because if you've been lifting for a while, and you kind of have to lift for a while until you really notice this, just because it's a little bit subtle. But the longer you lift, you'll eventually kind of realize, like, sometimes some machines just don't really, they just don't really click on any given day. I've had leg days where, like, I get on a Smith machine squat or the hack squat or whatever, and I'm warming up and I'm, one plate, two plates, three. I'm like, I don't really like this today, then switch to something else, you know? So, given that that's just a possibility, like, any movement that you could pick may not actually even feel that good. Then if you get on one and you're like, holy crap, dude, this is fucking awesome. My chest is on fire. I'm pushing myself really hard. I can really fucking exert myself here. I like this. Dude, camp out. Don't hog it. Let people work in if necessary, but I'm fine with that. So after that, if then there may be a little bit of cable fly action, pec deck, a nasty pose down, and then back to the crib. So no point chatting about it. Let's just get warmed up and started. All right, 3 big ones. Let's squeeze this shit. Oh my god. A few more. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, one more 3 plates. And then I might drop it to 2 1/4, maybe 2. Do a little bit of a higher volume set. Oh my god. Okay. Let's make this shit a drop superset. Or no, a drop rest pause set, I mean. Oh, holy crap. Come on. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my God. One more, 2 plates, and then move on. Okay. Let's just make it a rest pause set in there. I've been underestimating the fucking power of a lighter squeezing set for pressing. These are fucking dirty. Ah, come on. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Time for some cables. Yeah.
English or Spanish?
All right. Cable flies, moderately light, like this is a weight I can handle. And I'm going to really squeeze. Big stretch. Squeeze. Yeah, big stretch. And guess what? After 2 sets of this, my chest will be even more pumped than it already is. Which is not, that's not that's not nothing. That's serious. But let's go. Yeah. 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 One more. And that's never a bad superset. Failing with the flies, transitioning depressingly to stronger. One more at least. I'll make this a little bit quicker, kind of pumpy, if you catch my drift. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right, fuck. Let's go back to this chest press we started with and pose down. So this is going to be a little funky. Actually, you still using this?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Mind your shooting way?
Oh, you're totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it. There we go. All right. I have an idea. Oh, I already know what I'm doing, but the ender is going to be pec flies first as the pre-exhaust, and then I'll have to flip you around and then finish on the chest press that I started with. It is never a bad idea to do little fancy supersets like this, especially at the end of the lift, you know? I mean, by doing this fly, I'm getting the best of fucking every world for chest. And I know when I finish that set of squeezing chest presses, I'm gonna be pumped as shit. Let me just see if I pick the right weight. Eh, yeah, nothing too heavy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, that's good. There we go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Holy crap. Let's go pose. Chest in. There we go. Chest complete. Pumped to the point where I can fucking already see it jumping out of my shirt. So no point talking about it. Right? Let's not make any fucking guesses here. Let's make some direct god dang observations. Holy crap. Even reaching across my fucking body to grab my shirt, I can feel my chest run into itself. I love it. Boy. Oh. I mean, doesn't even have to be said. Let's just run through some fucking basics here. Oh, okay. Actually, wait, let me do that one more time. I gotta pull my shoulder back a little and squish my arm up against myself to make my fucking triceps poke out the back. Oh my god. You know, I never really give any posing tips. Not that I think I'm like a posing professional, but try not to do too much of this. I see a lot of this. Like, yeah, I mean, I can see my bicep more, but you gotta really open that shit up, you know? Oh my gosh. All right, I'm already fucking sweating just from posing. Let's get in the car. Now that's just good fun. That is just some fucking good fun. Whole crew of regulars. A little bit of a little bit of in between set chit chat. That's the way to do it, man. You know, the gym is fun, man. Really, well, I don't have to say that. That's obvious. But yeah, don't underestimate the power of fucking parallel play. And what I mean by that is, well, not what I mean. What that means is when you're doing something around other people, it's really meant for, you know, talking about kids, but you're doing the same shit just around each other, right? It's nice. It's very community building. Very fun. Very freaking fun. I mean, I don't know if you'd have the same experience. Maybe you're not so. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm introverted, but at least in terms of my, let's just say, lifestyle habits, I definitely am. But the coolest guys I met when I went to freaking, you know, my 4 years of university, They weren't from my classes, man. They weren't from my classes. They were from the rec center. They were from the fucking gyms. And maybe that's just because I'm a goddamn gym nut, and those are the people I usually like, but regardless of the actual case, yeah, dude. Fucking gym. There's some cool dogs in there. There's some cool dogs in there for sure. And there's fucking cool folks at any sort of place like that, you know? Let's say if your shit is like boxing or jiu-jitsu or MMA or whatever, not to just list like fucking combat sports, but if that's your shit, if that's what you want to really get into and like start practicing, then guess what? Odds are, if you go to a new jiu-jitsu gym and you keep going there for weeks, eventually you're going to kind of form a little bit of your own kind of clique with these guys and you have a whole new crew to fucking talk to. And it's like very valuable. Very fucking valuable. Don't let me even begin to try to overstate how cool that is. But I guess if you don't work out, they wouldn't get the gist. You don't really, they don't know what we're talking about, right? They haven't taken the red pill. They haven't. What's another red pill analogy? I don't want to say they haven't drank the Kool-Aid. That's not how this is. You know what I'm saying? But plan now is go home. I gotta. So I went to the fucking grocery store earlier, but I did not get any extra carbs. All I got was meats. So I'm running a little bit low. So don't really want to go to the grocery store tonight. But I think post-workout meal is going to consist of, probably cream of wheat. Dude, it goes down so easy. It really does. Oatmeal as well, but with like the instant oatmeal that I end up doing, I don't know, I kind of have to make it like extra soggy because if you add just the right amount of water, once it kind of cools down, it starts to sort of like thicken up a little bit. And that's what I'm fighting against. These meals that I'm trying to eat, I do not want them to be a chore to have to get down. Like if you have to really just sit there and like every bite feels like you're like really like kind of forcing it, you're not like, no, man, it sucks. So a little bit of a bulking tip: try to make sure everything that you're eating is reasonably moist and sauced. I just had so breakfast was 3 eggs and then another 30 grams of protein worth of egg whites. So just a bowl of fucking, scrambled eggs pretty much. And I've been off my game. The last few weeks, I've been eating my eggs with just salt and pepper, which, they're good. It tastes fine. It's cool. But this morning I added a bunch of red hot buffalo, and just the added fucking moisture from the sauce made it go down so much easier. Can't be understated. Or can't be overstated, I mean. But it was just, there's all sorts of little tidbits all over the place meal-wise. Oh, crap. My rice cooker is at home. And not my home, I mean my fucking parents' house. I'm gonna have to stop over there and get that. I need some mass rice cooked. Yeah. I haven't broken into the meal prepping side of things yet. Because I've got access to the kitchen so much during the day that I can just kind of make meals when they're ready. But if you know that, fuck man, school's about to start. If you know you're going to be away from like an immediate, readily available food source, like your fucking kitchen, like your pantry, like a meal, like a dining hall, like anything. If you know you're going to be away from food for like anything above a 3-hour period of time, if you're trying to gain weight, a long period of no eating during the day is not conducive with gains at all. At least, for me especially, it's fucking like, it's top priority that I get my meals in consistently throughout the day, because I don't know if anybody could relate to this, but for me, like, if I'm in a bulking state, like I am right now, like the longer that I go without eating, especially when I'm extra full of carbs and like I'm full of food, it barely, like, it's kind of weird to say, but it doesn't really make me hungrier, Like, let's say for whatever reason, I couldn't eat anything today until like 3 o'clock. Like, sometimes I'm not even like extra hungry, like my stomach's like doing some weird kind of shit or something, where like if I haven't eaten anything, dude, it just totally gets me off my game. So that's all I'm really trying to say there. So if you think about it like, I mean, you can kind of think about it like having a fucking little sand timer, or what do they call it? Like an hourglass, right? At the top of that hourglass is your calories, your macros for the whole day. So for me, that's looking something like 250 grams of protein, 120 something, 140 something grams of fats, and then I forget how many grams of carbs, like 600 ish. Well, whatever. That's at the top of the hourglass. So if I flip that shit over, that should take me my whole day to get down, right? So let's say, I mean, if I wake up at 8 and I go to bed at like 10, which is not true. I've been waking up much later than that. But let's just say then that means I've got a 14-hour window to get that 4,000 calories, that 4 something thousand calories down. So if you kind of do the math there, that would mean that for every hour I should be eating about I don't know, like about 300 calories or so. I should be getting about 300 calories per hour of intake. So that's a really good way to kind of gauge how well you're actually eating throughout the day. Because if you do that math, I mean, let's say you've been awake for fucking 4 hours, you check your fucking macro tracker, whichever one you have, you've been awake for 4 hours, you should be eating 300 calories an hour, basically. If it's 4 hours deep in the day and you've only had 500 calories, you're behind. You're behind the game. And at that rate, you are not going to hit your calorie goal before you go to bed. And that'll result in either one of two things. One, you just say screw it and you go to bed without hitting your calorie goals. You're going to wake up lighter. You're literally not even in a fucking surplus anymore. You're just eating maintenance. You're not bulking. So you're not growing. So you're not progressing. Not good. Missing meals will not result in muscle growth. Or you decide, okay, it's my bedtime right now. I need to go to bed right now to have a good night's rest, so I have to wake up whenever I wake up. I'm going to stay up late to eat more food. And sure, you hit your calorie goal, but odds are you stayed up too late, and now your sleep schedule is going to be off, and then you're going to have kind of scrappy sleep. And if you eat a ton of food right before bed, what's going to happen is now in the morning, you're not going to be so hungry for fucking breakfast because you basically had a crazy amount of calories only like 7 hours ago. Which I know I say only 7 hours ago, but if you're catching up on missed calories and you eat like a 1,500 calorie meal before bed, which I mean, I've been there, I've done it before, and then you try to, get up and have a massive breakfast right in the morning, it's just not going to fucking happen. So that's where it's going to be so much easier, so much more just smooth sailing level shit to eat your food slowly and consistently throughout the day rather than just try to eat like massive meals every fucking chance you get, right? It's like, I mean, you're driving with cruise control, right? You get a 500 calorie meal every 2 hours. Very smooth, very even, very stable. Your stomach's never like insanely full. You're just kind of getting a constant influx of fucking energy and nutrition, or nutrients rather. Or, you could be the guy in the fucking slammed BMW trying to speed 100, but then he runs into traffic, and then he's back to fucking the speed as everybody else. And he speeds again, oh, got pulled over. And he speeds again, oh shit. Ended up on an Instagram reel from somebody's dash cam. It's not the way to do it. Right? So the steadier that your calorie intake can be, I think, the better. Now, of course, there's the characters where they're like, I do one meal a day. Dude, that's its own thing. And those guys are not gaining muscle. I won't say you're not, but that's not an approach I would take, or an approach that I would say anybody should take. That's my bulking speech for the night. So, damn, The Boys is over. I don't get any more of The Boys for like 2 years. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be summer 2026. Not good. Not good at all. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All good things come to an end at some point. You got nothing else to say, man. Go home, drink some extra water if you haven't. If you can tell you're a little bit dehydrated, try to slam something. Ask your mom to get you some multivitamin gummies. Have one of those every night. Maybe be a little bit crazy, get some fish oil as well. And get some good sleep. That's all I can really say to anybody. So I'll see you tomorrow for forearms. Yeah, I think just forearms. My fucking calves are destroyed. And I know why. It's because I haven't done heavy Smith machine squats for a little while. And I've been doing a lot of like just leg press as my heavy quad, pressing movements. And when I did that incline or that Smith machine squats, I was pushing a lot of weight on my toes because I always squat very kind of upright in my torso. Because for me, if I put all my weight on my heels, I end up sticking my butt out and I'm like working my glutes, just not good for me. So my calves, just from like the load of squatting crazy heavy, they're like wrecked. So tomorrow maybe forearms and calves, but odds are it'll just be forearms. But that's kind of that's not much to see, so I'll make sure to add something else. I'll give you guys a little something special as well. I know what you want. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. But time to get a good night's rest, and I'll see you then.